shoulder blade back here, the scapula. And one of the things that's essential with that is that when somebody's got a diagnosis of a frozen shoulder, the first thing I want to do is make sure that the scapula has all of its mobility before I spend any time at all working on the subscapularis. So in order to do that, what I want to do is check the motion first of all in the pec minor. So to do that, I'm going to take this whole scapula and I'm going to kind of use it like a trowel, and I'm going to scoop back through here. Then for the lower trap, I'm going to come up and over the top of the rib cage. And notice in between each of those, I take a little pause because we're doing this as a movement kind of technique to help us with that. Once I've done that, the other thing I can do is, if I'm looking at the levator scapula coming through here, I just have to do a straight diagonal pull, and I can relax from that and be able to take and do the levator scapula. So I can keep doing back and forth like this. However, if I choose to shorten and come back up, I'm going to get the lowest fibers of the serratus anterior. So now I'm doing levator. Now I'm doing lower serratus anterior. So we started off scooping for the pec minor, over the top of the rib cage for the lower trap, and then we've developed into, here's our levator, and then we're coming up and over the top of that to get the lower fibers of the serratus. Now, if I tip the scapula just a bit and I pull across, now I've switched to rhomboids. And then I can relax that. And now I can take the scapula straight back for serratus anterior and get those middle fibers. So again, I'm going to come across, it'll slight diagonal for the rhomboid, pause, and then come back for serratus anterior. So now we have a nice progression. Scoop for the minor, up and over the rib cage to take care of the lower trap, down and diagonal to make sure that we're getting the levator, back up to get the lower portion of the serratus, tip the scapula slightly, come across for the rhomboid, back for more of the middle fibers of the serratus. If we want to get the upper fibers of the serratus, we could still kind of do a down and diagonal this way, and then come forward, and that'll get a little bit of the lower trap as well. And again, always a pause between it, and usually I'm going to be doing 5 motions each time with a pause at the extreme of each motion. And that is the whole series of scapular mobility.